We have been asking, and Canva has finally delivered. We now have interactive forms on Canva, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to embed a Canva form onto a Canva website so you can host the biggest and best open house for your sellers and get that home sold. Are you ready? Let's go. To summarize this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to embed a Canva form onto a Canva website so you can capture name and contact information to run an open house giveaway or door prize. Now, obviously, if you are running a giveaway, make sure you are doing so in compliance with your real estate brokerage rules. I don't want to get you in trouble, but let me show you an example of what this would look like. So here is Canva. Now, if you didn't know, I sell Canva templates on Etsy for my real estate agent besties. This is a open house website template that I have available on my shop here. But just to give you a quick looky-loo, this is what this would look like. But I'm going to go into the preview tab here and show you where exactly this form is embedded. So I'm just going to scroll all the way down here, past the photos, past the video, past the save the date button. And if you see down here, I have put a form on the Canva website, and I just kept it really simple: name, email, phone number, and then some information about said door prize. Now, I would put like an image of what you are giving away in order to kind of encourage people to want to enter, but I figured that this might be a smart way to gain traction to your open house before you even have an open house. And it's really simple to do. So if you do this, come back to this video and let me know in the comments downstairs below if this turns out well for you. So again, this is a Canva website doc type. Now, from my understanding, you can very well embed a Canva form on anything, but I just figured that this would be really cool to do on a website template. All right. So this is where I have, again, I'm in the editing window on Canva. This is where I have this here. So I'm just going to go ahead and just create a new page here so I can show you what I'm talking about. So this is a blank page here. If we go into the elements over here, click on that, you'll notice here we have a different interface, but you'll see here that we have forms. And so they give you a few different templates, but I'm just going to open up the first one here. And you just click on it, it will populate on to your design. Now, when you click on it, you can see we have this kind of tool bar here. And so if you go into the edits tab here, you can see that we can actually add various different kinds of questions. Now, as I said, I kept my form pretty simple, just name, email, and phone number. And then I went ahead and I required those questions. So they have to enter that field in order to submit their responses. But just to give you a quick overview of this form here. So right now, if we click on this, you can see we have this is that question here. Enter your email. You can add another short answer. You can add in a checkbox if you wanted to, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You just go in here and edit the words and text accordingly. But as I mentioned, if I wanted to delete this question, I can just go in here and delete it. Again, we can name this, enter. Actually, let's move this down here. Move this down here. Move that up there. Put name. Enter your email. Let's do another short answer. You can do phone. And to require the questions, you want to go ahead and click on the three dots there and then just hit this asterisk. So required question. And so it will create that little asterisk there. And I would do that again with all of those questions as well. And obviously you can go around and play with the different type of questions you can add to your form. Now, if you go into the settings on this panel here, we can see that you can actually toggle on the header. So in this case, I turned mine off simply because I had text already on this side here. And then obviously for the button label, this is where you can change that text there. So enter now. And then for this here, privacy, responses privacy, I do collect the respondents' names. And this is pretty much it for the form itself in terms of the questions. Now, if you want to change, obviously, the colors around, you can just, again, click on that form accordingly. And then you can see up here that we have the colors. So you can change this to the branding, but obviously be mindful of what your colors are being changed to. So that way you can still read the text, right? And so this is the button here. Maybe we might make this like this cream color. I'm not sure if you can change. I think, yeah, if you change all of the text color, it's only going to be one cohesive color. So you can see that I'm changing it to white. So you just want to be mindful of this button down here because it is so close to that white color. It might not be that legible. So that's something just to be mindful of. But in this case, this is what I have formulated my form to look like. But I just wanted to give you just a quick rundown of how to change the color. And again, you can change the font as well. You can change it to bold. You can italicize it. You can obviously change the size of the font. And I do believe that this little piece of text down below is just locked in. You can't change that, I presume. I didn't see anywhere in the edit area where you could change that. I assume that if I did this, yeah, it might change. Or not. Okay, we're just gonna leave it at that. But in this case, I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this page here. And then once you are ready, you would just go ahead and publish this website as you normally would on Canva. I'm just using a free Canva domain, but you can also purchase a domain from Canva directly, which I recommend. There is also the option to connect a third-party domain to Canva to host your website, but transparently, I've never done that. I've always just done it exactly through Canva because that's just the easiest thing to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and publish this accordingly so we can open this up in the web here so we can actually test out the form. And it's very simple to do so. Okay, we'll give it a second to, there we go. We're gonna click view website. And now if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, if I click this button is connected down here. But if we scroll down, we can see here that we have this form. You can go ahead and put your name, email at email.com, and numbers, and then just hit enter, and then it says responses are saved. Now, one thing to note about this is that there is no way of being notified if someone has entered into your form. So the only way is to go to the back end of Canva, and in this case, you will have to edit your design. So to be inside this editing window here, and if you click on this, we should now have responses in here. Let me fix my mouse here. Click on responses. You got to click on the form, click on responses, and you should see that I just did this just now. And if we go into, let's see, view responses, we should see, again, we have the timestamp, we have the name I entered, the email, and the phone number accordingly. Now you can link this to a sheet within Canva, but in this case, what I recommend to do is to actually just download this as a CSV file. Now, for the sake of this tutorial, I already filled out a few other names, so I actually have a second form underneath. So I'm just going to delete the first form on top here, but just to give you an idea, I have responses. I did about 3 responses in here, so it says right here 3 total. Again, you can view the responses here. And then from here, I'm going to go and hit that 3 dots because I want to download this as a CSV file. And from here, what I'm going to do is upload this CSV file into my Google Drive. And then I'm going to import it, or open it rather, as a Google Sheet. So I'm just going to, let's see here, file upload. And then I'm just going to, you know what, let me just drag it from my other desktop here. We're going to drag this CSV file that we just exported from Canva. And what we need to do is to, again, open this as a Google Sheet. Now, this is how I actually pick my winners per se for a giveaway, because what I do essentially is I just randomize the range, and then whoever is at the top is the winner essentially. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this as a, let's see here, Google Sheet. And then we can see here the responses, the time step, all of the fields that we have gathered. So you can go ahead and just extend these if you want to. Typically what I like to do is I like to freeze the first row. So I'm gonna go row number 1, so that way it doesn't move. Let's just zoom in here a little bit more. Now when I choose my winners, this is what I do. I click this first column here, and then I hold the shift key and click this last box here, if you will. Then I right click, so this is the first name on top. Okay, so we right click, go down to view more cell actions. You'll see here sort range, and then right underneath randomize range. If you click on that, it should randomly just bloop randomize the range. And now you see here this name is on top, so this would be, you know, the winner of said giveaway. This is how I run my giveaways. There's other methods too, but I find that this is the easiest way. And at this point you would just hold on to this name, obviously call this number, and be like, hey, you won the giveaway, make sure you show up at the open house, because this is how you will retrieve your gift. So that is pretty much it in a nutshell for this tutorial. Again, as I mentioned, if you do this, please come back to this video and let me know in the comments down below how that went for you. But if you would like to learn another method of how I run my giveaways, which is using Flodesk, which is actually my preferred method of running a giveaway and gathering information for my draw entries, then definitely check out this tutorial right over here. And if you're ready, get ready to click in 3, 2,